All right, good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always, with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 320. This is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. Before we get on the show, I want to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. If you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PlayStation Network, you can find me at anchorlist_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. As always, you can write us at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. Be sure to leave comments, rate the podcast as you see fit. As a reminder, we're a video podcast, so you can watch us over on YouTube if you want. Just be sure to subscribe to it. For new and or long-time listeners, for the nominal fee of $1 a month, you can join our Patreon. The Patreon tier is called the One and Only $1 Club. Head over to www.patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to become a $1 patron and get a free die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail and a shout-out on the show. And you get early access sometimes to these episodes. Not always. We don't promise it. But the show does air every Wednesday at, I guess, Tuesday at midnight or Wednesday at 0 o'clock hours. So that is when it goes live. But if you're a member of the Patreon, you can get it probably a day or two earlier. So I hope for those who are subscribed, they are taking advantage of that. And we try to deliver the goods, as they say. With that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today?
Fine, considering it's like fucking snowing.
Yeah.
It was a few days ago, it was like 70 degrees outside. Now it's snowing. So that's, I don't know. I guess it's just the way of the world now, which is fine. I just would like it to pick a lane, be cold or be warm. And it seems like after today, we're going to be settling into traditional PA spring where it's going to be like 45, 50 degrees for like the next 2 weeks and rain the whole time.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. If that's what it is, that's great. But, when it gets warm, you start fantasizing about the summer.
Yeah.
And and then when the cold comes back, it hits you that much worse. Like I don't know what it is, but today I got home and I was just fucking freezing.
I'm freezing
like,
right now
to the bone.
Yeah.
And it's not even that cold.
It's 32 out. 30 or 32.
So, but like even in my house, I felt cold. And so like I got inside. Sometimes what I like to do if it's really cold is when I get home from work, I'll get in the shower and just turn the fucking water on as hot as I can stand it until like I literally can't stand it anymore. And then I'll get out of the shower. Like literally I won't wash myself, just like rinse myself off with really hot water. And then the house doesn't feel so cold after that. Put on some like sweats and stuff and I feel totally fine. It's just like that weird like transition. But other than that, not a whole lot. Just, dude, I got, I don't, this is going to make it sound bad. It'd make me sound bad. But like for 3 years in a row, I've gotten a fucking letter from a collections agency about property taxes.
Is your mortgage just not sending the escrow in time or something?
So here's the thing is that I don't know. I can't claim, I can't speak for any other states or counties or anything like that. But where we're at, you have county tax and like local tax. You have school tax, and then you also have what's called a per capita tax. And a per capita tax, in my opinion, is the dumbest fucking thing on the planet.
Oh, it is. And it's not expensive, but it's nickel and diamond.
Right. And it's like if you're going to, I don't care if you charge me that, fine. But like take it out of my paycheck or like something, you know what I mean? What happens is that once a year you get a fucking bill for like $15.
Yeah, right.
That you have to pay in some really inconvenient fashion.
And what they do
like
also, real quick, just to add, what they do is they give you a due date that's like 3 months away. And they're like, if you don't pay it by this date, we're going to raise it $2. And it's like, so,
and then if you don't pay it by this day, it's like 3 tiers. It's like they keep raising it. And then, so I am convinced that either my tax collector is not getting my payments or they are not sending me the fucking bill. Because I can't remember. I mean, I get these bills in the mail all the time. I always get property tax bills that are being taken care of by the
mortgage company,
by my escrow and all that stuff for my mortgage. And all of that's fine. And now they're doing all this shit where like some of it you pay the tax collector for, and some of it you have to go through like that Berkmeyer fucking place now.
Berkheimer,
and like,
yeah, I just did those.
Yeah,
Berkheimer.
Berkheimer.
Oh god.
And so like it's insane. Like I know we've bitched about this on the show before, but like I have no fucking problem paying taxes. I'll pay whatever tax you want me to pay. Just make it easy for me to fucking pay it. Like I why is it I'm getting fucking a letter from the collection agency saying I didn't pay my per capita tax in 2023, and they're like, you owe us $30. And I'm like, I don't even think I ever got a fucking bill for it.
Yeah.
And like, how can I know? How can I know? It's like a, you know, so it's like one of these things where it's like,
there's
yeah,
no way
okay,
to track it online. It's not like, oh, I should probably, there's no way to be responsible about it. Like, oh, let me log into my account and make sure I have this paid, or that, like, you know, because you clearly know every year it shows up. But like, not only is that the only thing that shows up, like if you're like me, you get your fucking watershed tax, you get your, like I said, the per capita tax, and then you fucking have to pay your local tax, and then you got to do your state tax, and then you got to do your federal fucking tax. Not to mention, like in PA, they take like, I think they take $52 from you, but at least it comes out of your paycheck for the right to work. And then it's just like, holy fuck, dude. I was looking at my gross pay compared to my net pay. We're not getting into what I'm making or what I'm not making, but like, dude, my take home is 61% of my gross.
Yeah, that's
61 fucking percent is what I get to keep of the gross that I make. And then at the end of the year, I'm paying more fucking taxes. And they're just nickel and diming us. And it's so annoying.
Well, and that's the thing, is that like I'm not even complaining about how much I'm paying in taxes, which is in Pennsylvania we pay stupid taxes. Like it's ridiculous. Like we're the only reason that we don't have a lot to complain about is because, or we don't complain a lot, is because we border New York and fucking New Jersey and shit where they pay like even crazier taxes.
And to be fair,
but like,
we don't have any natural disasters either. Like we're not worried about earthquakes, but like we have the salt and the snow and the roads and shit. But like, dude, fuck, man. Like, now granted, a lot of my gross income goes towards a retirement, a pension, some Roth 457. I got union dues I fucking pay. And like, it's just like, but like your health insurance, and then you get nickel and dimed on that now. Like you're working for essentially your fucking health insurance. And then like, you're still like, I'm still paying a fuck ton for it. Like if I want to upgrade to the PPO, it's an extra fucking $28 a pay. And it's like, oh, okay, just fucking take all my money. And then I go to the ER and it's a fucking $400 copay. And I'm like, why the fuck am I even paying for anything? Like, this is ridiculous. It's like they really make it hard to fucking get ahead, man. And I'm on the tax kick. I don't mean to cut you off. I just did all the taxes this weekend, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But finish what you were saying.
The only thing that I was really complaining about is just like, to me, it's one of these things where taxes are a part of life, and you can choose what you pay in taxes based on where you live. So like, if we really didn't want to pay this much in taxes, we could move somewhere with less taxes. Right. But to me, it's like, just make it easy for me to pay you. Like, make it easy for me to like be a good citizen and pay all this shit. Like, to me, like, with the stuff that's been going on with the fucking per capita tax, like the first year that I owned a house, this happened to me. And the reason why it happened to me is that when I bought my house, they told me that all of my taxes to do with my house were escrowed, and I didn't have to worry about anything.
Right.
I get bills in the mail, but they were just statements.
Disregard
blah blah blah
them.
blah.
Yeah.
And then and then they're like, you didn't pay your per capita tax. And I call the fucking tax collector. I'm like, what the hell is this? She's like, oh, that's not part of your mortgage. You have to. It's like, how am I supposed to fucking know that? How am I supposed to know that? And then it's just like, I don't know. I don't have to go on anymore about it. But to me, it's like, it almost feels like it's complicated on purpose so that they can just get late fees out of
Yeah. That's what it is.
Because as long as, I already obviously paid it. As soon as I got the notice, I paid it. But it was like, it's not like it goes against, as long as you pay the collection agency right away, it doesn't affect your credit or anything. It's only if I keep fucking ignoring it and they actually come after.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like it negatively affects me at all, other than it just damages my pride, because it's not like I can't afford it. I can fucking I got enough money to pay a $20 per capita tax.
Right.
But it's like, it makes me feel like an idiot, because now I'm thinking did I get a bill and just never pay it? I'm like, no,
right.
Every single time one of those fucking things comes in the mail, I notice it because it's a different shape and size than anything else you get in the mail. And so I always notice it. And if I don't pay it right away, it goes, even if I do pay it right away, all of those go into my tax folder for the year. So either I didn't get it, it accidentally got thrown away, or I paid it and they never got my payment. And you can't prove any of it. Are you
using it? Are you paying by a check because it's antiquated?
What's that?
You have to write a fucking check, right?
Oh yeah, you got to write a check. You can't pay cash. You can't pay with a card. Well, you could pay with a card if you pay on
But then they charge you a fucking fee. They charge you a convenience fee or some shit.
It's just oh my god.
It's
okay.
fucking
just I don't know, man. Just here, let me just give you my bank account. You just pull money out of it whenever you want.
Yeah, take my fucking PIN number. Here's a copy of my debit card. Just whatever.
Yeah, it would be fucking easier than me having to try to remember all this stuff. And it's like complaining about first world fucking adult problems, but it's just so annoying because it makes me feel like I'm incompetent as an adult. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just...
Maybe you are a little bit.
Maybe, I guess.
You're in denial, man.
Possible. It's entirely possible. I have an immaculate credit score because in 20 years I've never missed a payment and have perfect credit.
Yeah. But
I get a letter from a collection agency and it makes me want to shoot myself because of a fucking $15 per capita.
I'm gonna make you a shirt that just says, "I consistently forget to pay my per capita tax." It'd be so
Dude,
funny.
I bet if you wore that in public, people would totally jive with you.
Yeah. I mean, everyone can relate. Yeah, everyone fucking forgets. And it's not even necessarily forgetting, dude. So my thing is I sit down and dude, we're not going to get into the whole conversation about why I don't pay someone else to do my taxes. But I do the music taxes. And dude, I must have done it all right this time. I bought enough gear, bought enough shit, had enough business expenses when you file your employment, my wages with my self-employment, with Chelsea's income. It just turns into this amalgamation of anything can happen when you start plugging in these numbers on TurboTax. You know what I mean? You just don't fucking know how the number's going to shake out because no one understands the equation. It's just you put the shit in, it asks if you have... I had ASCAP royalties this year. Not a lot, but I don't know, $150 or something. You got to report it because it's on fucking paper and it showed up at your door. So, these are weird fucking forms and shit. And then you put all this stuff in, dude. And it's cool to get royalties, by the way, even though they're minimal. Humble brag. The thing that's weird about it, though, is you get all the shit loaded up. And TurboTax does this thing where they let you file with the IRS federal taxes for free. You can file with the state online, but it comes at a cost. And the local taxes, they don't even fucking touch. You got to do that through Berkheimer. Mm-hmm. So you enter all this information in for the federal. Boom, 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 boom. You get it in there. You give them your permission to withdraw whatever you owe in taxes. Or if you're a lucky son of a bitch and you're getting money back, then you give them your routing number and they can make a deposit, whatever. So that gets done. and then I go to Pennsylvania, and it only allows you to download one state, all the tax rules for that state. So you pick Pennsylvania, it downloads it. It imports the majority of shit, but then what you start learning is that self-employment expenses are calculated differently between state and federal taxes. So there were things that I was able to claim on the federal tax return for my self-employment that I wasn't able to claim on the state. So, and I did really well this year. I paid in like $19 to the feds, but like the state taxes, I owed like $60 because I couldn't claim some of the self-employment expenses. And I'm like, this is so fucking dumb. Like, so, and I'm pretty sure you couldn't claim the same expenses. And if you could, TurboTax was not importing the exact same expenses into the state return. So I'm just like, I'm not going to fucking put these on here if TurboTax downloads the specific Pennsylvania fucking rules and then it doesn't import the things that I loaded into the federal one because like maybe that's tax fraud. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'll pay an extra $40 fucking dollars than what I probably should just to like not be called out for trying to cheat the system. So you get all this set up. And then it's like, well, we could file online for you. You should probably file online. Or you can print all the shit out, write a check for the amount, fucking put it in an envelope, lick a stamp, maybe a couple stamps because it's thick. Make sure you fucking sign it with your fucking ink pen and then send it in. Oh, and then you can save copies. So you do all this. And that part's still not fucking done. It's up on the table because I'm like looking through it for errors now. And it's just like, you're just always worried. But I got the check written and it's ready to go. So then last night, Sunday, I'm cranking out the Berkheimer shit. And that's local taxes. And I owed $2 local tax. And it wasn't like anything under 10 we don't give a shit about. It's like, no, you have to pay it. And then it's like, if you want to pay with a card, there's like a $3 fee. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll pay the fucking fee. Because I'm not going to go get another fucking stamp, go write another fucking check, and go have to drive to the post office. So it's like they got you by the fucking balls and it's annoying as fuck. And you're stressed out the whole time because you're just worried that someone's going to come knocking, like the IRS or the local whatever, whoever, the assessment office. And they're like, oh, you fucking didn't report this or you didn't do this. In the meantime, I've got literally like 28 different tax forms in front of me from, different investments that I have, retirement shit that I have, mortgage principal shit. I've got, I don't even know. Like I said, these royalty things. I got the 1099s I wrote you guys for the flood. I've got all of my fucking self-employment shit. Dude, I've got personal tax shit. I've got Chelsea's income. I have all this shit in front of me. And it's like, if I fuck up a number, like I'm the one that's going to get in trouble. And it's like, this is fucked up because you can't just fucking tell me what I owe. All these people sent me these forms. Like, it should be the other way around where it's like, Oakman, tell us what you made and what you, like, for your self-employment and what your expenses were. We'll put it on a nice form and send it back to you and then show you exactly everything that you owe. Like, all these companies should be in cahoots and just say, okay, you got Oakman stuff. Here's the social, match all this fucking tax work up, all the fucking Charles Schwab shit, the fucking retirement shit, the fucking mortgage principal interest, like whatever a 1095B is, all this fucking shit, and it was even worse when I had student loan interest and then, and then I'm doing mileage for self-employment and then I'm keeping track of miles. I'm doing the mileage calculator and I'm trying to, Jesus Christ, man. It's just like, it never fucking ends because now that it's pretty much done, I have to now go back into my software and make sure I've accounted for all of my expenses to date this year and for all of the fucking things that I bought. Like I bought guitar strings recently. It's like, you better bet your ass I'm going to write that off, But it's just like, dude, there's just so much shit to it that you can't even enjoy your self-employment, but I don't make enough money to justify paying someone else to do it. I think the fine for fucking up would be cheaper than... because if I fuck up, they're going to be like, oh, you did it wrong. And I'm like, well, if you knew I fucking did it wrong, then you should have done it for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, if they can tell that you did something wrong, then they already fucking know. And it's like, just tell me what to pay. End of rant.
I think that it would definitely not be cheaper than paying somebody else if you fucked up your taxes.
I don't know.
So I definitely don't think that's true.
I think that like if they can prove intent to like manipulate your taxes, then it's one thing, it could be criminal, but like otherwise it's just like an overpayment or an underpayment, and they're like, here's what you owe. We looked over your shit. Here's what you owe.
Yeah, I guess the whole idea, and we can move on from this, is that like if you do get audited or something like that, you're just like you just point at your fucking tax guy and you're like, that's the guy, go talk to him. End of story.
Right. Yeah, that's going on in our country right now, I think. Jesus Christ.
But anyway, enough about taxes.
All right. Well, I'm not keeping track of timestamps this episode because my notepad's upstairs and I don't want to write anything down. So we're going to move into games we're playing. Every episode we talk about games that we're playing. Jake, I've jumped in. I've joined a Helldivers crew, and I don't even know their names. I know LJ is part of it. And that's it, dude. I have not jumped into a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, that's kind of where I'm at. Just Helldivers 2, man. It's fine. The group is fun. I'm on a text group. Whenever somebody's jumping into Helldivers, I'll send a message. Hey, I'm hopping in. Anybody getting in? It's kind of nice. It's a nice little support group for Helldivers. And all the memes that everybody posts are really funny. It's LJ and his squad. There's 5 of us in total. So I've been enjoying this. I've only played with the guys once. But it's nice to get into some of the conversations and whatnot. So I'm still really enjoying Helldivers 2, but I'm just like, there's so much shit. I was actually, before the podcast, I was doing notes, and then in between I was trying to get a poster made. We're playing at the Cusswaga Creek Distillery, Donnie Consul and I, April 5th, and shows are about starting to kick back up in April for me. Summer's about to fucking get busy for me. So, if I'm going to get any gaming in, now is probably the time, but I just haven't been to it. So what about you? What are you playing?
I'm still just playing Rebirth. I'm like 30 or 31 hours in. For people that have played the original Final Fantasy VII, or I guess if you're playing Rebirth, I'm in the Gold Saucer area. I just did the Chocobo race, and now I'm on the part where you're the whole Barrett backstory part. So
Okay.
that's it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying it. I don't have anything really new to say about it, but I don't know. I still really like it, so I'm gonna keep doing that and see what's going on, I suppose. I have to imagine, I mean, I don't know how long the game is going to end up being. I don't even know how I can even tell how long the game is. Like I said, I'm 30 hours in. What does that mean? Am I halfway done? Am I 2/3 of the way done? I don't really know. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see. I might be playing it for a while still, but it's okay. I'm still having fun with it.
Well, I'm glad that the afterbirth is serving you well.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a song by a guy named Ryan Caldwell, and he uses the word afterbirth in a lyric. And I believe he's talking about delivering a baby calf. He's a country singer, like covered in afterbirth and aftershave. Mm-hmm. And it's like a really fucking gross, just like lyric, but it not gross and like, it's just like something about it is very poignant. And I said afterbirth because Final Fantasy VII is called Rebirth. And I was thinking about music. Hey, we do listener feedback, and we take questions. And our loyal listener, Big Box, is back. If you want to write into the show, you can write us at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Now, Big Box, I haven't even read your question. I'm going to read it live for the first time ever. Big Box says, Philosophizers, I have been contemplating for the past 2 months about going 1 week without any electronic stimuli in my life. No games, no phone, no radio, no nothing. I would permit myself a book for leisure activity only. I cannot believe how hard I've been dragging my feet on this. Have either of you ever considered anything like this? Any advice or words of encouragement or discouragement? P.S. This would mean no P.S. This is awesome, but please do not let that cloud your response. I fucking love Big Box. I have a couple things to say about this. I would love to live in an analog world right now. I find that I waste so much fucking time looking at my phone and being attached to text messages and being attached to fucking music on my iPhone. And the podcast is a digital fucking thing. You're right, Big Box. Dude, all the shows that I have to book, it's all done through Facebook, Instagram, email, text. It's all done that way. It used to be you picked up a fucking phone and you called somebody. But I guess in your scenario, that means no phone at all. So unless you go find a landline somewhere, I don't know if that would be permissible. But I think that there's a lot to be said. And I think that if it's kind of like a diet, I think it's kind of like a diet where you're used to fucking eating the main course meal all the fucking time and treating yourself to fucking fast food and all the good fucking, the joys of the world, the pleasures of life. And you start doing without and you realize that you get hungry for that shit. But if you just exercise your willpower and you exercise discipline, I think that you would find this would be actually really enjoyable after the first. Maybe with this, it might take longer than a week to get used to, but very minimal. Allot yourself maybe like a 1 hour time frame to just scratch the itch and hold fast to it. Like fucking like, I'm going to set a timer. I have 1 hour to get in whatever digital content I fucking need to right now. Whether it be play a video game or whether listening to PS, this is awesome. While you play a fucking video game, while you're fucking like surfing the net or something. Like just fucking get it all out in an hour every day and then just go completely dark again. And then make the hour 45 minutes, make it 45 minutes to a half hour. And then you're going to start realizing that like you don't really need this shit. I know for me, man, like one of the things I really enjoy about running is just getting away from all of the bing, all the fucking shit on my phone. I know you can mute it and you can go in airplane mode, but you've seen me even on the show once in a while looking down at my phone is because I'm getting it. It's buzzing and I'm like, is this a show offer? Is this somebody that's like asking me something that's going to be relevant and timely that I have to fucking get back right away on? Or is this just some stupid advertisement coming to me through Reddit or like through like YouTube? Oh, you should watch. I don't fucking know, man, but I think it takes an unhealthy amount of time from us, and I think it really deters from us living in the moment. And I think that's one of the things about technology that has been a big downside to it, is that we often find ourselves not living in the moment that we're existing in, and we're either living in the past by looking at what other people were doing, or like what we used to do, or like what we already did, or I don't know, man. I think there's too much digital in the world. It comes with its pros and it comes with its cons, but I do think that you will definitely reap a positive from doing this. I encourage you to do it 100%. I've never quite done it myself. I've been depressed at times where I just don't fucking turn my phone on, or I just like, don't want to fucking be around people. And I just like, I have intentionally left my phone at the house when I've gone out to do shit because like, there it goes again. But like, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's just kind of nice to have that separation. And the phone is the big one for me. Radio, never tried to live a life without music. I don't know that I would want to. But I think you're onto something here. And I think I wonder what the impetus or what the catalyst is for you to want to do this. And if you've been dragging your feet for so long, maybe you don't really want to do this and it's more of just a challenge for yourself. Maybe it's just one of those things that you just want to see how high you can fucking jump, right? Can you do this? Like, you're just wondering, is this just a challenge, a goal that you want to set for yourself to say that you did something? Or is there really something going on in the background that you think, something like this you could benefit from? That would be my approach. But I think, like, start off, I would make it more than a week. I think limiting your technology in general was probably a good thing. I mean, all it does, dude, is serve as a fucking distraction, from everything around you. And, I use it as a distraction, honestly, all the time. And I think a lot of us do. But I think there's a lot to be gained, a lot of maybe soul searching and a lot of, I don't want to say introversion, but like, inward thinking and reflection can be had if you're not completely always consumed by all the bullshit and all the static out there. That's my opinion. I think you should go for it. I think you should let us know how it goes. Jake?
Well, first of all, this would be impossible for me because of my job. But I think that these types of things, and by all means, big box, do what you got to do. But I think with stuff like this, there's always too much of a go big or go home, all or nothing attitude with these types of things. It's always like, people are feeling a little bit unhealthy. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm guilty of doing similar things in my own life, but it's like, like someone might be like, oh, I've been eating like shit, so I'm gonna I'm gonna fast for a week to make myself feel better, so that to clean myself out. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, you're either gonna do it, which more power to you, or more likely you're gonna fucking crash and burn because you're trying to bite off too much at once. And I think that if it's just a thought experiment, like a more of an exercise for yourself to see how it affects you personally, then that's one thing. But if it's like a almost like a rubber band kind of reaction where you're just like, one day you realize, like, I'm using my phone too much, I'm not going to use my phone for a week. Like, I don't think that that's a good way to go about it. You should just try to realize what is making you use your electronics so much to begin with, and maybe figure out ways to supplement those with other things until your usage is down to a point where it is not bothering you so much. Like, for me, I don't know that I feel the same way. That I think a lot of people are getting burned out, but I think it's because people are constantly engaged, and I don't do that. So like, I'm not always on. I don't even have Twitter installed on my phone. Like, I don't, like, the worst thing I could say is that, like, occasionally if I'm sitting on the couch or if like I'm on the toilet or something, I'll look at Instagram, or I'll like scroll through Instagram or whatever, or like occasionally I'll get on Facebook or something like that. I mean, but I don't actively engage in any of these things. I just read content on them from time to time. And so it's probably easier for me to say that it's not that big of a deal. But like, for me, especially in the summertime, like, I'm always out and about. I think it's kind of weird. It's impossible to decouple from electronics completely. So I don't know. Like, he's not going to fucking, I'm assuming, you're not going to get in your car and go to work and have, I mean, maybe you are going to get in your car and turn all the radio off and everything, and you have nothing. You're just going to literally sit in silence on your way to the office.
I like that.
And and that's great. But like, maybe, I think that, how could you do this? Like having a book, and here's the thing, is I think you kind of already touched on this some, is that you're gonna, maybe at first it won't be a big deal because you're like gung-ho about the idea, but like after the first day, you're gonna sit there, you might because your body is so used to using these things, you might be like, pick up that book and be like, I don't want to fucking read this. Like, I don't want to read this book. I don't want to, sit in silence in the car. I'm uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
You're gonna crave this shit the first week, I think, when you limit yourself. You're gonna want it. But like, I think after, it's like they say, to break a habit, it takes 2 weeks of not doing the thing. To become a habit. Sorry, to become a positive, like a good habit. It's like you got to do the positive thing for 2 weeks without fucking up, and then you can develop these habits.
I guess I don't really have anything positive or negative to say about this. This is always something that I've considered, but like, there's no fucking way I'm getting in my car and leaving the house without my phone, just from a safety perspective. They're like, I'm not getting on my motorcycle and going for a ride without my cell phone, because what if I wreck out in the fucking middle of nowhere? Like, so that's off the table. So if I'm going to have my phone on me, then it's more or less an exercise. And can I be disciplined not to use my phone for things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, fucking internet searches, whatever it is that you want to, YouTube, whatever it is that you want to, you're battling internally. I think it's I would love, honestly, let us know how it goes. Like if you've already started and like we're just talking.
Yeah, this
to
was
the
6 days
here.
ago. He wrote
I definitely want to know how it goes, and more honestly, like how you kept yourself occupied. Because part of the issue is that it's like any addiction, is that your body is so used to being stimulated on a regular basis that when it's not, it's like craving stimulation. And stimulation that is you're not going to get by fucking, looking at trees and shit. So like, now maybe if you were going on a hike and you were doing activities and applying yourself in an analog sense, then yeah, you could supplement that and find ways to bypass or supplement that thing. But I think what most people are trying when they do these types of things, what they're trying to accomplish is they're trying to find a way to break the addiction to constant stimulation. It's not so much about being on an electronic device or being on your computer or your PlayStation or whatever.
He uses the word like stimuli, so I think he knows that. Yeah.
Right. So like for me, like I get up in the morning, I do all of my video gaming for the most part before I even leave for work in the morning. So like I get up, I'll feed the dogs, I'll take some pre-workout stuff, I'll play video games for like a half an hour to an hour, I'll do my workout, I'll go to the office, and then when I get home after work, it's like basically doing stuff with the wife, making dinner. We might watch some television in the evenings or whatever. So for me, if it was like, okay, I need to find a way to cut all that shit out, it's like, well, when summer rolls around, I'm probably going to be outside in the evening. So it's hard for me to answer your question about like some suggestions, because like I don't feel like I personally struggle with this. Like I'm not one of these people that sits here and is just like I'm fucking glued to my phone. Like very rarely am I the guy that's just sitting there like with my eyes down all the time.
Here's the thing. So, are you going to encourage or discourage Big Box?
I think he should do it. I think he should. I know that like the way that I've been talking has been kind of like a jumbled mess and like really not helping at
Jake
all. But
here in this
but
situation.
like I'm just sort of like thinking about it out loud and like how I personally would handle something like this. And this is something that Sarah and I have been talking about doing more of this summer, is doing more activities, the two of us, that are analog versus
Like a board game.
digital. And well, more like getting out and like, maybe going on short day hikes, or going out and seeing the sights somewhere, going on little mini trips, or taking the dogs for walks, and
Go
doing
geocaching.
things that are geocaching. You could do that. But these are the types of things where it's like, I want I don't know that I feel you in that. I wish that I had, let me just say it this way. I wish the power would go out more often, if that makes any sense. Not because I want to be without power, but because I love the idea of there being like 2 or 3 hours a day where you're just forced to live an analog existence. It's not like, I want to be without my phone and my television and my radio for days on end. But it's nice to be like, okay, all the power goes out for 3 hours at this time, and so this is your time where you're forced to do more analog tasks, whether it's reading or, I don't know, carving wood, whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I guess I don't know. We're kind of rambling here, but
Yeah, no,
do it.
Yeah, do it.
Do it, and tell us what you did to cope and how far you took it. Like, are you going to fucking ride your bicycle to work because you don't want to use the technology of your car? Are you going to use candles in your house rather than your lights? Are you going to turn the heat off in your house because electricity runs your furnace? These are the things I want to know. Are there campfires cooking beans?
I think Big
cowboy?
Box goes fucking ham here. I think he just goes fucking hammock outside, and yeah. But I on all seriousness, I have enjoyed going on walks lately. It's a great way to spend time. It's a great way to get in a little bit of exercise. It's a great way to feel like you're part of something bigger than being stuck in your house all day, right? Just go out, you fucking see people milling around, whether you like people or not. It's like there's other shit going on all the time, and it's just a nice little reminder. So I don't know. I've enjoyed walking. I've gone on some, not hikes, but I've been down to Woodcock and I've done some other stuff, and I've really enjoyed just kind of getting outdoors, but it's way too fucking cold for that right now. So my advice, Big Box, would be to wait until spring comes to do this. That way you have more options.
Yeah, it's definitely easier when you can like go outside, go for bike rides, go, I don't know where you live. I mean, maybe you live somewhere where this is already
Go
possible
fish
for
or
you.
something.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if maybe you're the outdoorsy type. But it's cool. Like, it really sort of exposes. I like the idea of forcing yourself to think outside of the box as far as entertainment goes.
Yeah.
And like everything now is so to me, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I would consider this experiment. I would consider the experiment satisfied if it was just like take away the internet for 1 week. Not even like you don't have to take away your phone, you don't have to take away your TV or your games or anything like that. It like if you just took the dimmer of stimulation and just dropped it down like 75%, where you had to get up and put fucking DVDs into your PlayStation so that you could watch movies or something like that. Like that being disconnected from all the fucking bullshit that everyone puts all over the internet, I think would do so much to save so many people such stress that It would be great. But man, if you want to go full on fucking Arthur Morgan and just cowboy the shit up and have no electronics whatsoever, that's a dope strategy too.
Do it.
So good luck.
Do it. Thanks for writing in, Big Box. We appreciate it. We're going to get into some news here real quick on the show. Don't have a lot of news points. It seemed like a pretty lame month of news. But the first one, which is interesting, is a speculation news story. And it is that Sony's pausing production of the PSVR 2 unit due to a surplus of stock. This news comes way of an article on Bloomberg by Takashi Mochizuki. Sorry. Yeah, so I guess, excuse me, I mean, the writing was on the wall here. I mean, people are not really happy with the games available on PSVR 2, you know. I don't know.
Dude, if they get that, if they get
the PC integration,
do that PC integration, man, those things will fly off the shelves. I'm telling you.
Maybe this is the incentive for them to do that. Yeah. And then how do the Move controllers work, I guess? How do the whatever they're called?
The Sense controllers?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they would just have to make a Windows driver for it. I mean, just like the DualSense, you can plug it into your PC right now and play games with it.
Yeah.
I did it the other day just for fun to try it.
But I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean good or bad things for the VR2. It just means that like they have a lot of units fucking sitting around, so it's probably underselling, which isn't great. But also, at the same time, it means that Sony believes in the hardware. You know what I mean? They believe in what they've made, or else they would. It would be the other way around. Like they've made. Or it just sold really good and they could still believe in it. But the fact that there are more than what they thought they could sell, to me, means that they thought they were maybe a little bullish on this whole thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I commend them for making a go of it, and that's definitely commendable. And by all means, like that doesn't mean that the platform is dead, and so it could very well ramp back up again. But the crux of the matter is like someone's got to support it, and like for me personally, for every dude, I'll be honest with you. I know like there are VR heads out there that just they love like all manner of games when it comes to VR, and when it comes to the flat screen gaming, I'm of a mind that there are valuable games to be played in all like budgetary spectrums and everything like that. But for me personally with VR, I'm totally a AAA snob. Like I like games like Resident Evil and Gran Turismo and like even No Man's Sky and stuff like that. Fucking sign me up. They're awesome. But when it comes to the janky shit in VR, like it's really hard for me to stay engaged.
I agree.
Whenever I'm like struggling with the fucking controls and because it's not grabbing right or I'm aiming out of my ass or something. Like it just, so I can totally understand why VR is so hit or miss. That new I think that Legendary Tales game came out, didn't it?
Couldn't tell you.
Which is that isn't the one from that one they did that State of Play or something. It was like that State of Play or something where that's the one where it's like in the first person dungeon crawler where like the combat looks fucking crazy and you can like pick a skull up and beat a skeleton with it and like all that crazy stuff. And I think you can play it multiplayer like that. I think that looked kind of cool and I believe it's out. It's a weird price. It's like $55, I think, but which is kind of a lot, but I don't know. I mean, and I still haven't played Resident Evil 4, so I need to get that. I need to get on that. But I don't know. I was just kind of hoping for more out of Sony from a software support standpoint. No. Like we got Gran Turismo, we got that, I don't know, fucking forever ago. And we got Horizon Call of the Mountain. What other first-party VR games have we gotten that are of a AAA quality? Zero.
Well, I don't know. We got it didn't release in a great state. That Dark Coaster one, Dark Pictures one, Switchback.
That's not a first-party game.
Yeah, you're right.
But I guess
it's not available anywhere else.
Maybe it is.
You can only play it on VR2.
Is that a first party?
I don't know if it is. Supermassive. Are they first party? They're not. They didn't.
No, they're not first party.
Right.
But I don't know if that's who made it. I know. I'm pretty sure Sony owns Until Dawn though.
Yeah, but it wasn't just Until Dawn. It was Man of Medan shit.
Oh, that was Dark Pictures.
Yeah, like Dark Pictures shit. But it doesn't even matter.
Supermassive did make that. Yeah.
So
that's not a first party game. But yeah, it
was exclusive to VR2.
Right. But like why haven't we gotten another
Blood and Truth
Astrobot VR rescue mission or like for every freaking for every like Gran Turismo or Resident Evil, we get some jank piece of shit that...
No, we get like 30 jank pieces of shit for everyone.
Well...
Yeah.
I know that I'm acknowledging publicly that I am probably too hard on a lot of these games. But to me, I need something that is incredibly engaging. Otherwise, I am not going to bother putting my VR headset on.
The Wipeout Omega collection of VR was one of the best things to have ever happened. And I think a lot of VR2 players would love to see that ported over to VR2.
What's that?
The Wipeout Omega collection.
Oh, yeah. That looked rad. I never played it, but it looked rad.
In VR. But anyways, let's move on to the next news point. Helldivers 2 now has over 8 million players, and it just keeps going. So I don't know what
awesome.
Just congratulations to Arrowhead, I think, made this. I can't remember. I think they're the studio. And then the next news point, there's a launch trailer for Rise of the Ronin out now. This is a live action mixed with cutscenes for a PS5 launch trailer, and you can watch that on Push Square, YouTube, wherever you want to watch it. It looks all right. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. It's weird anytime you mix live action with cinematics. They did a good job doing it, but it always kind of reminds me of like Control or like, fucking Alan Wake or whatever. It's just a weird, like, just fucking make it all cinematic shit if that's what you want. Like, why make the live action stuff? Maybe they're trying to bring in some movie watchers or something. I don't even know, but it looks fine. This is not a game purchase for me, but I don't know.
Comes out on Friday, right?
Soon.
I think.
Soon.
So that's...
the 22nd, March 22nd.
Which is... I'll be curious. Dude, I have no idea what this game even is. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that looks kind of neat. And then I saw it was Team Ninja, and I was like, oh, it's going to be Soulsy because they did Neo. And that's not really for me. And then I saw another trailer. I was like, oh, this looks more like Assassin's Creed. That looks kind of fucking cool. And then I was reading some other stuff, and they're like, yeah, it's pretty Soulsy. And I'm like, okay, well, then I don't want to play it. And so, like, I don't know. I just need to wait. When this game comes out and we get some legit reviews and stuff about it, then I'll have maybe more or less interest in it. But as of right now, I'm probably going to end up skipping it. The next game that's on my radar that I really want to play is whatever the fuck, Stellar Blade. But I don't know, man. I mean, maybe this could squeak in there somehow if it comes out and they're like, oh, it's a fucking 9 out of 10 or whatever. But I doubt that's probably true. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's a PS5 exclusive, so they do have, Sony seems to believe in it in some capacity. Mm-hmm. And I have no doubt that it's going to be a fine game. I just don't know if it's going to be amazing, especially when you have something like Ghost of Tsushima that's a first-party game that is like literally amazing. So it'll be interesting to see what this ends up being.
Yeah, I agree. CD Projekt RED has announced they are officially done with updating Cyberpunk 2077 finally, but they did say that there may be still little tweaks here and there if something hops out where they recognize that it's an easy thing to quickly like patch or fix or whatever. But ultimately they're moving on. So the game is now to be officially considered complete, which is awesome. Which means how long until we get like the collector's or whatever edition? You know what I mean? Like the whatever you want to call
The
it.
complete edition or
Yeah,
whatever the hell you
whatever
want
the
to call
fuck it is. Yeah. How long before they rebrand this thing and give it a new cover and make it like feel like a fresh shiny thing and include the DLC? They did it with The Witcher.
I mean, though I'm assuming it'll be something that's available. If not before then, maybe they'll announce it like Summer Games Fest or something, and maybe it'll
Yeah.
be like a fall kind of holidays sort of re-release.
But they'll put it on sale. It'll release on sale for like $39.99 or something.
Yeah, I mean it would be great to have all that stuff in one package, especially for someone who's never played the game before, to be able to get like the ultimate experience right off the bat for their first playthrough.
Oh god, that game's so good now.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, that's actually something that I've been thinking about possibly going back to at some point this year, just to play the Phantom Liberty stuff.
Did you beat it?
And
did you beat the game?
The main story,
yeah,
I did.
Phantom Liberty is
yeah,
amazing. Your brother played it.
Yeah. And so but it's so daunting to have to jump back in and start a new, because I'd have to start a new character because they retooled everything, and
it's worth it, dude.
So,
I did it. It really is worth it.
But I would definitely be interested in maybe doing that, assuming I can find a hole in the schedule. But you know, we bitch about this all the time. It's just like every game that comes out is so fucking long now that it's really hard to. And then you throw a game like Helldivers in the mix where it just dominates people's time because it's all they want to play and it's multiplayer and endless.
Because it's fun.
So, yeah, I totally get that. But I don't know, man.
I still wanted to play Banishers, dude.
Yeah, me too. And I've heard decent things about it. And so, what does this mean for the next CD Projekt RED project? I mean, I wouldn't hold your breath that the next game, whether it's Witcher 4 or whatever the hell it's going to be.
They were doing the remake of 1 and 2, I thought, at some point. They announced they were.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, regardless.
I think
doubt
4
we'll
is going to be the next one, but I don't know. Who knows?
CD Projekt RED is not going to release another title for probably another 3 or 4 years. So
yeah,
I wouldn't get too excited about the fact that they're, you know, with respect to the next game, I wouldn't get too excited by them announcing that they're done with CD or Cyberpunk.
I agree. All right, last news point. Not a lot of news points this week. System Shock, the remake for PS5, PS4, is coming out May 21st. So, if you're excited for that, there you go. Jake, you seemed like you might have been a System Shock kind of guy at one point.
I've always been interested in it, but I've never played it. So I am definitely interested in seeing kind of how this game performs on console. Because I think it's out on PC, but I think Night Dive did that, I want to say. And they're usually pretty good at these remake kind of things. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's definitely an interesting world, and I would be interested in possibly playing it. But do you know how much it is?
No idea.
It's System Shock, right? System Shocker. It says, it just on the PlayStation Store, it just says announced. There's no price yet. It says 5/21/2024, no price. So who knows what it's going to cost?
Yeah,
but I am curious, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna move it forward. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I don't know if you saw they announced some new additions to the PS Plus Extra and Premium catalogs, and there were a couple of notable titles on there that were interesting to me. Mostly Marvel's Midnight Suns is going to be on there, which I've heard is a great game, and the Resident Evil 3 remake is going to be on there as well, which I've always wanted to play but never got around to.
Yeah, I think I played that, didn't I?
so I have no idea if you've played it or not. But I played the remake, Resident Evil 2 remake. But I haven't played the remakes of 3 or 4 yet. So those might be games that I try out. And Midnight Suns, if you're into like turn-based tactical RPGs, from what I understand, it's made by the people that did XCOM, and from what I understand, it's fucking awesome. So
yeah, my brother Firaxis, I think, did it, right?
yeah,
my brother really liked it. He was kind of disappointed when the it didn't. I think it critically did well, but not commercially. You know what I mean? That was my impression
it didn't
of
sell
it.
enough.
But I will say that, like, I wish XCOM didn't disappear how it had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and with everything that's going on, and I think the guy, I think his name was Jacob something, left for Axis, who was essentially the creative head behind those games. So I don't know if we're even gonna get like the proper, we might not get like a great another game. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and also just another notable, because I typically don't look at the what do they call it, the classics, but this month they're adding the PS1 classic Cool Borders. Did you ever play that game? That was the snowboarding game.
Cool Borders was one of my favorite games. Yeah, back in that day, that was such a good game.
Yeah, so I didn't have a PS1. I had an N64, so I played 1080 snowboarding. But Cool Borders was also one of those games around that time that fans of these types of games really loved. And they're like, you know, if you played the first Tony Hawk, it's like a single downhill course. Like, it's not an open world thing. It's like that type of thing where you're going down through the course and you try to do all these tricks and stuff before you get to the bottom. Precursor to thing like SSX on PS2 and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, Cool Borders, awesome. Cool. I love these old games. I mean, I'm never gonna play it, but like, I just love the idea.
It's probably trash now, but it's a nostalgic thing for sure.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm like watching footage of it on YouTube right now. It is so fucking funny. Like watching the graphics pop in and shit. Like, it is so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's Cool Borders. All right, dude. New games coming out this week. We talk about this every episode when we can find them. We are getting the previously Xbox exclusive Hi-Fi Rush on March 19th on PS5. We're getting MLB The Show 24 on PS5, PS4. We're getting Mystic Pillars Remastered March 19th on PS5. March 20th, Alone in the Dark is coming to PS5, as well as Master Maker 3D Ultimate on PS5 and PS4. Moving on to March 21st, we're getting Ambitious Mission PS4, Ikonei Island and Earthlock Adventure on PS5 and PS4, Crimson with a K on PS5, PS4, Lisa Bundle of Joy on PS5, and Tram Simulator Urban Transit on PS5. March 22nd, Dragon's Dogma 2, PS5. It's a big one. Front Mission First Remake on PS5, Rise of the Ronin on PS5, we already talked about that, and then the Legend of Legacy HD Remaster on PS5 and PS4. That's such a dumb name, the Legend of Legacy.
It almost, I know it's not, but it almost sounds redundant. So I've said it a million times on this podcast, I'll say it again. If you have even a little bit of interest, play Hi-Fi Rush. It's fucking awesome. And then for baseball fans, MLB The Show 24, this is the game, right? So they're going to be excited for that.
Yep.
I think a lot of people, or at least some people, were excited for that Alone in the Dark. That's like a remake, right? I'm pretty sure of a classic title.
I don't know if it's a remake or a reimagining
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I heard it seemed like some people might be a little bit excited about that. And then obviously Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin coming out on the same day. I don't know for a fact, but I get the feeling that Dragon's Dogma is probably going to take the mind share of those two. I at least from the, echo chamber of video game fandom, it seems like more people are stoked about Dragon's Dogma 2 than they are about Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin's a new IP, and people have been, but people have been waiting for Dragon's Dogma 2 for like literally 15 years. So
right.
I get the feeling that one's probably going to end up consuming people's attention a little bit more than Rise of the Ronin. I hope Rise of the Ronin is good. I hope it does well.
Mm-hmm. I
but
agree.
We'll just have to see and play Hi-Fi Rush.
Dude, time will tell. And so those are the new games coming out this month, this week on the PSN. And nice, short, and sweet podcast, keeping it to a minimum. Thanks to Big Box for asking us the question that he gave us, because that was the majority of the show, us contemplating if we could go analog for a week. We did have some news points, but like I said, there was some Honkai Star Rail shit in the news today, or this past week. There was a couple other minor things, but it was kind of slow for news, which isn't always a bad thing. It just means that like things are maybe steadying out a little bit. Jake, did you have anything else you would like to say before we close off for the evening?
I just noticed that, and PlayStation just posted this on their Facebook, I guess like an hour ago, that that Sandland game, which was based off of the works of Akira Toriyama, who just passed away recently, famed creator of all things Dragon Ball and Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger and stuff like that, at least from an art perspective. He also did the manga Sandland, and they are coming out with a game for that. And apparently there's a demo out for it today.
Oh.
So they just announced this not too long ago. So I might download that and just to check it out, because, just to kind of remember his legacy a little bit. Because even though I'm not like the biggest anime fan in the world, like I fully believe that Dragon Ball Z in particular is the reason why anime is popular in the United States. And so it can't be understated how important he is for that.
Right.
That from that regard. Not even to mention, like I said, Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. I mean, that is the reason why it's such a big deal. So, I mean, it really took off when Dragon Ball kind of was exposed or was introduced to the U.S. So, yeah, I don't know, man. There's just too much shit, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it. I don't know if I'm gonna or not. You know what I mean? Time will tell.
Yeah.
I always say like I'm going to try something, and then I just never fucking do it. So I'm probably one of the worst podcast hosts to have for a PlayStation gaming channel, because I'm just fucking sucked into Helldivers right at the moment. I don't have a whole lot of time right now, though. So let me see here. All right. So I guess that's it, man. I got nothing else to say. Just thanks for tuning in to episode 320. We'll be back next week. Big Box, good luck on your journey. All the other listeners, feel free to write us like he did. pssisawesome@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. $1 a month. Throw a little 100 pennies to Jake and I, and we get maybe about 60 cents of it, probably. I don't know. I don't know what Patreon takes, but we'll get a little bit of it. And the goal is keep the prices down and bring the quantity up. So all of y'all, chip in. Let's do something cool here. All right. Thank you so much. This is the end of the show. We'll catch you next time. Like Carnival Games, Catherine, and Chernobylite. P.S.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.